Kirsten Miller. I'm one of your Columbia College counselors, and we thought it would be fun to introduce counseling services in a man on the street kind of way, but counselors in the office. And so we're going to take you on a little tour of our counseling services with some of the key players in helping your students' success. So this is Jeff Fitzwater. This is one of our full-time faculty counselors.
Hello.
He's going to tell you a little bit about what we do behind the scenes that students don't get to see. What are kind of some of the responsibilities that a counselor has outside of meeting with students in our office?
Well, counselors serve on many committees here at Columbia College, so we're involved with curriculum planning. That is, what degrees we have, what courses are approved, what majors are approved. We work with articulating courses. That means coordinating courses with the university systems such as California State University and the University of California. We work with all kinds of departments on campus, advising them on what counselors do and on how students can benefit from our services here at Columbia.
Yeah, that's a good nutshell. We do a lot outside of just counseling, so when you are a little bit frustrated about not getting an appointment right away, it's because we're doing everything related to student success. One of the services that counselors offer are educational planning, helping you identify your educational goal as well as what it takes to get there. One of our students, Gabby, has benefited from that service, and so I just wanted to tell us a little bit about that.
Counselors at Columbia College have helped keep me on track, keep me motivated to try to transfer and go on to a university to keep pursuing my educational goals.
And what's your goal?
Accounting.
Accounting?
Yes.
And so you're a business major?
Yes.
And so how in the heck did you know what math class to take?
From a counselor.
From your educational plan?
Yes, an assessment.
And how do you know what graduation requirements are?
From meeting with a counselor.
Okay. So, again, from a student's mouth, meet with a counselor. All right, I'm here with another one of our students, Kim Morris, and Kim is taking a guidance course, which is another service that counselors offer, and I just want you to tell me a little bit about what you've been learning in your guidance class this semester.
We have been learning about what careers you want to go into when we leave Columbia College, and this class has really helped me to figure out the major that I want, what requirements go with the major, how much money I could be making, what kind of degrees I need to have to get into the field that I want. I'm a business major and I'm going to go for an administrative professional. And taking the guide class really focuses on what you need to do to graduate, and I've taken a couple of guide classes and I feel that they really, really do help you to figure out what you want to do, especially when you start off taking a guide class at Columbia. Then you're prepared to focus on your ed plan and your classes that you know you want to take and get out and go on to the workforce.
So another service that Kim gets to take part in and actually is a student worker in is our TRIO program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it is actually a transfer program. It helps you to focus on what school you want to transfer to. It helps low-income, first-generation students to use the counseling services and all the resources we have at Columbia College to be successful and go on to the university level and use all the resources that we have, and it even helps some financially, and it requires us to stick with each semester with our ed plan and meet with our counselors and have peer mentor sessions. And
so you get to meet with other students and learn how to be successful in school. That's part of the peer mentors?
We can use the peer mentors for academic purposes and for personal purposes, and they just, and like to help with scholarship applications, and they really help with everything you really need to be successful at Columbia College. So it's definitely a good program.
Great. Thanks so much, Kim.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Now we are here with Matt Fox, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the special program that he is in charge of.
Great, thank you. So I'm the coordinator for a program called EOPS. And EOPS stands for the Extended Opportunities, Programs, and Services. The population we work with have to qualify for the program, and you have to qualify based on two different criteria. The first one is some sort of educational disadvantage, and the second is a financial disadvantage. So in regard to an educational disadvantage, it could be you had a high school GPA under 2.5. Like I did until I turned it around. It could be that you are a first-generation college student, meaning that neither of your parents have a bachelor's degree. It could be that you scored into our basic skills math or English classes, which are Math 601, Math 602, or English 650.
Or 151?
No.
Okay.
So English 151 is a degree applicable class, so it has to be one of the 600 level classes.
Okay.
In terms of the financial disadvantage, we verify that through the BOG fee waiver. So students have to be receiving the BOG A, B, or C, and the C is only eligible with a 0 expected family contribution.
And you would know that by filling out financial aid paperwork.
That is correct. So in terms of the services that we provide, I think there's a lot of really good resources that we offer that help students be successful in college. The cost of textbooks are one of the new things that students have to encounter. In high school, it's usually paid for, but in college, they have to purchase their own textbooks, which can be quite expensive. So EOPS, one of the services we provide, is a $300 bookstore voucher. So we give them that voucher each and every semester that they participate. They go down to the bookstore and they use that to purchase their books.
Nice.
We're also able to give them a parking pass or a bus pass. And we also have a new service where we loan out math textbooks and calculators. So that's something they would never have to purchase if they're in EOPS.
Great.
Okay.
Now, what sort of counseling services does EOPS students receive?
Well, what we do, and I think this is one of the strongest reasons to join EOPS, is students in our program receive 3 counseling sessions each and every semester. And they can have more, but 3 is the requirement. And in those counseling sessions, we do have some prescribed topics that we want to talk about. So we do want to talk about the creation of the educational plan. But we also do a mid-semester progress check. We give them a form that they take to their professors. The professors give them feedback halfway through the semester on how they're doing in the class. What grade do they have? What's their performance like? Their attendance, their participation? So then we talk to the students, okay, how are you doing in the midpoint? Do you need to start using tutoring more? Are there any intervention techniques that we need to employ? Sometimes it's in the best interest of a student to drop a class. So we make sure that they know about how that would affect their satisfactory academic progress as it relates to grades and also financial aid.
Now that form, the academic performance report, is available to every student, and it's available online for our distance ed students. And that is a super handy tool to check in with your instructors and get feedback on how you're performing in class.
Great. One other service that I wanted to mention that we do offer to students is priority enrollment. So as more and more students attend Columbia College, it gets trickier to get into the ideal class on the ideal day on the ideal time. So all students in EOPS get priority enrollment, first day enrollment, which means if they take advantage of that, they should be able to get into any class, any section, so they're going to have the great schedule that is going to work with their life every semester that they are in our program.
And they'll have their educational plan, and they'll have the appointments with you to set up that exact schedule to know what's best for them.
Exactly.
Great.
Students can stay in our program. Ideally, we want to get students at the very beginning, their first semester, and we want to get them all the way through to the end of their educational goal, whatever that educational goal is. Students can be in our program for up to 6 semesters or up to 70 units. So either of those scenarios should allow us to get them day 1 and get them all the way until completion of their goal.
Now, can distance education students take part in EOPS?
Absolutely they can. We count them just as they would any other student.
And how can they access the services if they can't come on campus?
Well, that's a great question. So currently, there are some appointments the students would have to come in for. But other appointments,
Although we have Google Hangout now,
With Google
so we might
Hangout.
be able to do that.
absolutely. So we can definitely utilize that technology. So if students are distance education students and not going to be on campus, unless there's something that we need them to physically sign, although if that can be done through Google Hangout, we'll take advantage of that as well. So absolutely, when a student is distance education, we'll work with them so that they wouldn't need to come in unnecessarily.
Very good. Thanks so much, Matt.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
All right, this morning we are here with Brian Jensen, and he is one of our counselors in our special programs operations. He works with our disabled student population, with our EOPS EOPNS population, and also with our veterans. And so I would like him to touch on some of those special service that our special program students receive through counseling services.
Okay, great, thanks. So I work with students with disabilities, and I work very closely with Karen Rods, who's our coordinator for our disabled student services. And what we do is we need a disability verification or a verified disability from a professional, and then we can help give accommodations to students there.
Now, would that be just physical disabilities, or also, maybe emotional?
Great question. Yeah.
Different kinds?
No, I appreciate that because sometimes I forget that. So disabilities show up in many different forms. Some can be physical, an injury, or a physical disability. Say somebody has something from birth or so. So having a hard time getting around this campus, we have a tram service that can help them get from class to class. Additionally, some disabilities are emotional in nature or psychological, and so if perhaps if they have a hard time concentrating or accessing memory, we have services for them, as well as a learning disability. And a learning disability is one that is it's a way that a person processes differently. So sometimes it gets a bad rap that there's something wrong, and it's not true. It's that the person actually processes information differently, where you may access information by what you see. Another person might access information more by what they hear. So we have different ways of taking in information, and somebody with a learning disability may be more hands-on. So we find ways to work with them there.
Great.
Yeah, on the veteran side of the house, I work very closely with our Veterans Benefit Office, which was Marnie Shively and her crew, Kelsey and Dana. And a lot of times students will start there to access their benefits, and then they'll come here and I'll work with them academically on their education plans, what they want to do, any concerns or transitional feelings they're having that are coming up as transitioning from the military into college life. We also work very closely with our fellow colleagues, our fellow counselors, and so referring. So, for instance, if a student's interested in the first semester experience, I'll refer them to Kirsten. If they're interested in the TRIO program, I'll refer them to Courtney's. Again, I work very closely with Matt. So we all work very close. If anything emotionally is coming up for them, a lot of times I'll try to support them, to help them to get through the day, access their internal resources, but we also have on-campus resources and then off-campus resources, so we're very connected with the community.
So we have the mental health counseling. We have the mental health counseling services through our health office, and that is free to students. And then we also have referral options for off-campus as well if a student needs that. And student success can be hindered by so many things, health and even hunger. We have a food bank on campus. There's different ways that we can help you access services that will help you succeed as a student. Oh,
One more plug for our counseling department. Wanted to say that when you go to a four-year school, at the four-year school, you usually have an academic advisor, a career counselor, and a psych intern or a psychological counselor. 3 different people. But here at the community college, we do it all. All of us counselors, we see students for career or academic, career, and personal. So sometimes when we're planning out a schedule, some personal things may come up, like how am I going to meet that deadline or anxiety. That's what us counselors do. We work with the student. If students changing their careers, a lot of times they have transitional feelings come up. We're able to listen to them in the moment and then find classes that might be the best fit for them. So anyways,
even dealing with a difficult instructor.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Just sometimes students will come to us and not know how to handle a conflict that has happened with an instructor, and we can help navigate that with them. There's all kinds of things that come up in our counseling appointments rather than just educational planning and what classes you're going to take. It's really an overall system. Thanks for that point. That's great.
So I just wanted to really say that that your community college counselors are great resources because we're really geared for the student, and so that's what we're looking for. So anyways, thanks.
Thanks.
For the opportunity.
All right. Okay. We're here now with Bill Sullivan, who is another one of our counselors, and he is going to tell you a little bit about how counselors work to help you get into Columbia College and ready to take courses.
I think one of the most important things that I do is, first of all, teach them how to register, where to go, where the people are they need to see, what they need to do, and which is what every counselor does. And I think the other thing that I do is I think I normalize the behavior and relax them. 'Cause I think they're very nervous. A lot of people haven't had a good experience with education, and when they come in here, I try to make them feel that we're here to help them. It's their school as much as it is ours, and it's our job to help them make it as easy as possible to go through the process here and get in and get out in a reasonable amount of time.
Great. And we require students to go through an orientation process. And what do students get out of that orientation? Other than the kind of the normalizing and just kind of how to do college, what can they get out of it?
Well, they can get a couple things out of it. We just did a orientation yesterday, and what the kids told me the most was they felt much more relaxed because they were going into the vast unknown here, and we explained enough about classes to take,
General ed requirements.
general ed requirements, how to graduate, what to do to get help, what to do to get assistance when you don't know what's going on, and essentially just how to use the system. And I think that helps them a lot because they just feel this is a much more warm and friendly place than it was when they showed up on day one.
Great. And also now we have a mandate from the state of California that orientation is so important that you can't get priority registration without it, and in the future your BOG fee waiver. So you're going to make sure that you take one of our orientation sessions for all of these wonderful reasons and for your benefit. Thanks. All right, now we're here with Tracy Hickey, who is the counseling reception desk, and she does so much more than just that, but today she's going to tell us a little bit about how you can access counseling services.
Counselling services can be accessed by walking into our office and making an appointment or calling our phone number on 209-588-5109. We have a variety of options for appointments. You can do face-to-face, drop-ins, online, or phone appointments. If you'd like to take advantage of our new online appointments, check out our web pages. All the instructions are there, and they are using Google Hangout.
All right, great. So, other things that we have here at the front desk could be schedule planning tools, also any forms that you would need, add slips, drop slips. You can also access those things online. And call Tracy here at 588-5109 if you have any questions about accessing counseling services.